So before Alessandro Volta, okay, who was that? Who gave that animal energy, animal electricity? In the first class, I discussed about, right?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, who is that? Luigi Galvani gave the concept of what? Batteries actually, but he was not knowing it is from metals and all. He was thinking it is because of the animals, dead animals have energy, something like that. He gave. Okay, he observed the twitching of the limbs of the frog, dead frog. Okay, when he used that dissection, this one. Okay, equipments. Okay, so while when he was touching, so it was moving its limbs. Okay, he thought it was giving a shock. Electrolyte was there in the dead frog, so it was right. So right, blood is like electrolyte, right? So he gave concept of there is electricity kind of thing. So that's the reason we named after that galvanic cell. Okay, which converts chemical energy into electrical energy. We say galvanic cell. But actual concept was given by Alessandro Volta. He what he did, he gave a voltaic pile. Okay, he placed one over another, right, zinc and copper, and he made a pile and he generated electricity. Okay, with a separator. Okay, with a filter paper kind of thing. Okay, one coin, another coin, another coin, another coin. Okay, like this, one or other. Okay, one is made of zinc, copper, something like that. Okay, we call it as voltaic pile, and connect them. Okay, and they are separated. Okay, using a separator, and when you can generate the electricity. Okay, you can get the you can measure the voltage or current. Okay, so this was given by Alessandro Volta in the year 2019. Three people got Nobel Prize. Three scientists got Nobel Prize. One is John Goodenough of USA, and he's John Goodenough. Okay, and he is Stanley Whittingham. Okay, and he is Akira Yoshino, Japan. Okay, they got Nobel Prize for developing what? Lithium ion battery in 2019. Okay, so in 1990s, okay, the battery industry was revolutionized by the invention of by the use of lithium in batteries. Okay, so these are the people, okay, behind this. Okay, they developed um, lithium ion batteries, which we use it in our cell phones. Okay, um, right. So what is a battery then? How to define a battery? Definition of battery. Battery is a device which transforms chemical energy into chemical energy of a redox reaction into electrical energy. So transformation of chemical energy to electrical energy. So we call it as a battery. Okay. Single cell is also called a battery. Okay. But usually it is defined as battery is a combination of two or more cells electrically connected together to produce right electrical energy. Okay, it's a combination. Okay, in parallel or in series. Okay, we connect them to get electricity, right, higher power. Okay, higher electricity. Okay, right. So if you connect them in parallel, well, you know what, the voltage remains same. Okay, but right, you can use it for longer term, long time. Okay, parallel arrangement, serial arrangement you have studied. Okay, you can to produce more voltage. Okay, so example, you are studied lead acid battery. Okay, in PUC level. So what are battery components? Any battery, if you take, it contains anode, negative electrode. It also contains a positive electrode, that is cathode. It contains electrolyte. It contains separator, and you require a container for this. Okay. So battery components, what are the battery components? Anode, cathode, electrolyte, separator, and container. What kind of materials are used as anode? Anodic materials. Anyone? I studied what are electrodes and all. What kind of electrodes can be used as anodic materials?
The one with lower reduction potential.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, anode should have materials with lower electrode potentials. Okay, example, lithium, zinc, okay, magnesium, okay, etc. can be used as anodic materials, which have got lower electrode potential. What is the electrode potential of lithium?
3 point.
Minus. You should not forget that minus 3.04 volt. Okay,
Yes, sir.
standard electrode potential. What this minus sign indicates? What this minus sign indicates?
It undergoes oxidation.
It undergoes oxidation quickly. Okay, so it's the best anodic material available right now. What is that? Lithium. Okay, earlier we were using what? Lead acid batteries, zinc anode batteries, and all, right? So with the invention of lithium in batteries, okay, the battery industry is revolutionized. Okay, so right, so we'll discuss a little bit more about lithium batteries when we discuss lithium ion batteries. Okay, so what should be the cathodic material? Cathode. Yes,
Higher electrode potential.
materials with higher electrode potentials. And which can withstand, right, longer time with acids and all, right? So they can be used as cathodic materials. The electrode material should have higher electrode potential. Okay, example you give. Copper can be used. MnO2, right? You can use silver. Okay, many other materials can be used as cathodic materials, which have got higher reduction potential. All right. Then comes the electrolyte. So electrolyte, usually what we use here is an acid or base, or any strong electrolyte, salt of strong acid and strong base. Okay, electrolyte. Okay, it should have higher conductivity. Electrolyte should have higher conductivity. See, it should transfer the ions quickly, right? See, what happens? This is okay. We know the anode has got more electrons. It pumps the electrons to the external circuit. Okay, they are received by cathode here. Okay, and what happens to the ions? The ions migrate, the cations migrate from metal ions, migrate from anode to cathode, and they accept the electron here. Okay, that's how the circuit is closed. Okay, is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
To migrate these ions, you require stronger electrolyte. It should be done very fast, so the conductivity should be more. So the electrolyte, whatever we use, usually it has got higher conductivity. And usually what we use strong acids and bases and some strong salts. Okay, electrolytes, any strong electrolytes. Okay, and then a separator. Okay, what is the role of separator?
So it separates anode and cathode.
It separates anode and cathode. Okay, anode, it separates anode and cathode. There should not be any short circuit here. Okay, it avoids that. It separates anodic compartment from cathodic compartment. This is separator. Usually it is made up of a polymer membrane. What we use? A polymer membrane.
So maybe two of them are waiting for class.
Joined? Okay. So electrolyte is any polymer membrane, okay, which is microporous. We should allow the ions to pass through, not the electrons. Electrolyte allows I was talking about the separator. Okay, separator. Okay, it's not electrolyte, it is separator. Separator allows the ions to pass through, not the electrons. Okay, electrons are separated. And then we require a container to contain everything. So this is how, these are the components of battery. What are battery components? Anode, cathode, electrolyte, separator, and a container. Okay, usually we don't mention container, but it's required. Okay, usually these are the four components of battery. Okay, and container should be a non-conductor, an insulator material. Okay. Right. So different types of batteries are there. Okay. One is primary batteries, secondary batteries, and reserve batteries. Okay. The first one, primary batteries. In this cell, the cell reaction is irreversible or not completely reversible. Okay, zinc MnO2 battery. Okay, zinc MnO2, lithium MnO2, zinc air. Okay, they are all primary batteries. Means they are once usable batteries. These are once usable batteries. Once you use them, you cannot recharge them. Okay, I think you have studied zinc MnO2 batteries in your PUC. Okay, you know it forms a complex with ammonia, right? Zinc forms a complex with ammonia. Because of that, it is not reversible. You cannot recycle the zinc. Okay, right? So it's once usable battery. Okay, they are called primary batteries. Primary batteries are not rechargeable. Not rechargeable. Secondary batteries, the cell reaction occurring in the secondary batteries are reversible, and these are rechargeable batteries. Lead acid battery, or it's also known as acid storage battery. Okay, nickel cadmium battery, nickel metal hydride batteries, lithium ion batteries, lithium polymer batteries. Okay, they are all reversible. They have a cell reaction which is reversible, and they are all rechargeable batteries. They are all rechargeable batteries where the cell reaction is reversible. Primary batteries are not rechargeable. Reserve batteries are also not rechargeable batteries. But they are emergency purpose batteries. Okay, so usually what we do, we keep the electrolyte separate from the rest of the battery components. One of the battery component is usually stored separately, okay, from electrodes to avoid self-deterioration, self-discharge. They have got unlimited shelf life. You can store the reserve batteries as long as possible. They are used for mid-ocean disasters. Navy, okay, so military applications. Okay, they are special purpose primary batteries. What are reserve batteries? They are special purpose primary batteries only. They are special purpose primary batteries in which one of the battery component is kept separate, stored separately from other electrodes. Okay, from electrodes to avoid deterioration of battery components, to avoid self-deterioration or self-discharge. So they have got unlimited shelf life. I'll discuss what is shelf life later. Okay. So they are special purpose primary. So what are the different types of batteries we have? Primary battery, in which the cell reaction is irreversible or not completely reversible. Example, dry cell, zinc carbon, okay, lithium MnO2 batteries, zinc air batteries. They are once usable batteries. Okay, they are not rechargeable batteries. Secondary batteries are rechargeable batteries in which the cell reaction is reversible. Okay, example, lead acid batteries, nickel cadmium batteries, nickel metal hydride batteries, lithium ion batteries, lithium polymer batteries. They are all rechargeable batteries in which the cell reaction is reversible. Reserve batteries are the special purpose primary batteries, which are basically for emergency and long-term applications, especially mid-ocean disasters and military applications. Okay, they have got unlimited shelf life. You can store as long as you want to, right? Okay, they are also not rechargeable batteries. They are all primary batteries. Okay, so these are the three different types of batteries. Then we go to battery characteristics. When you go to the market, okay, when you go to the market, want to buy a cell or a battery. Okay, what are things you look at? Anyone? When you go to the market, you want to buy a cell for particular application. What are things you look at? Yes.
Battery capacity.
Okay, battery capacity you look for. Okay, very good. Who is this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what else? What else you look for when you go to the market to buy a cell?
Voltage.
Voltage you look at. Okay, good. Voltage you look.
Is it rechargeable or not rechargeable?
Okay, rechargeable, whether it is rechargeable or not. Okay. What else you look for?
Size of the battery.
Size of the battery. Okay, good. Then
Efficiency of the battery, sir.
efficiency of the battery. Okay. Then what else you look for? Okay, so we'll discuss all those things. When you go to the market, you have to check the battery characteristics. Okay, whether the battery is rechargeable or not, voltage, capacity, okay, energy efficiency. Okay, the first battery characteristic is voltage of the battery. Look for voltage. So what is voltage? Voltage available from battery depends on it is EMF of the cell. What is this? EMF. It is given by Nernst equation. E cell is equal to E naught of cell minus RT or NF ln Q, or you can write, if you are not comfortable with this, you can write E cell is equal to what? E naught of cell minus 2.303 RT or NF log Q. Q or K or whatever it is. Reaction quotient. Okay, product concentration of product divided by concentration of reactants. Okay, this is what Nernst equation for, right, a cell. Okay, what is E naught of cell? E naught of cathode minus E naught of anode. Okay, E naught of cathode minus E naught of anode gives E naught of cell. Okay, Q is the reaction quotient. It is the ratio of concentration of product to the concentration of reactants. Okay, and EMF of the cell can also be written as E cell is equal to E cathode minus E anode minus eta cathode, eta anode, okay, or voltage, internal resistance of the cell. Okay, so you can write this also. Okay, so what happens when you use a battery? There is electrodes get polarized. Okay, what happens? The products of the reaction are formed on the electrode surface. They develop a back EMF. Okay, that we call it as like or voltage. You have to apply or voltage. Means that is a negative thing. Okay, so you have to minus all these things. Okay, from cathode minus anode, cathode minus E anode. So battery voltage, you just remember either this or this. Okay, one equation, even if you write in the examination is okay. Or if you write both, you don't lose a single mark. Okay, single mark. Okay, the voltage of the battery depends on what? products divided by concentration of reactants. So depends on the concentration of battery, right? Products to the reactants. It also depends on temperature. It also depends on the polarization. Okay, internal resistance. What kind of materials you are using? What is the resistance of those materials used in the battery? They also matter. Okay, because they also consume the energy, right? So voltage. Okay, so E cell or the voltage is equal to E cathode minus E anode minus O voltage minus internal resistance. Or you can simply write E cell is equal to E node of cell 2.03 RT/NF log of Q. Okay, here I have written. Okay, so this is about the battery, the voltage of the battery. Okay, the first characteristic you have to look for is voltage. You want to use it for a transistor or a radio. Okay, how many cells you have to buy? Okay, one cell gives you 1.5 volt. So how many cells you have to buy? To run a radio, you require 6 volt. So you have to buy
4.
4 cells.
4, sir.
Okay, so you got it, no? So you should know this characteristic of the battery. Okay, battery characteristic. Okay, lithium ion batteries, see, they give voltage up to 3.7 volt. See, 3.7. Okay, so I think it's it gives 7.2 volt. Okay, and its capacity, I'll discuss capacity in the this one next slide. Okay, its capacity is 850 mAh and it is 3.7 volt. Usually we use 3.7 volt batteries. Okay, your cell phone and all, they contain batteries with optimum voltage 3.7 volt. So usually carbon zinc battery, that zinc MnO2, that is 1.5 volt. Alkaline zinc MnO2 battery, right, it also gives 1.5 volt. Lithium MnO2 battery gives 3 volt. Lithium thionyl chloride battery gives 3.6 volt. Zinc air battery, okay, metal air batteries, okay, we'll discuss in the coming classes. Okay, lead acid battery, you have already discussed in the right, this you have studied this in QC level. Okay, and nickel cadmium battery, it gives 1.35 volt. Okay, 1.2 to 1.35 volt. Sodium ion battery gives 3.7 volt. Lithium ion batteries 3.6 to 3.85 volt. Okay, usually we get it with porous carbon as anode. Okay, layered graphite and lithium cobalt oxide. Okay, as cathodic material. Okay, you don't have to remember all these things. Okay, this is for just for information. Okay, so you should know what are the battery characteristics. This is important. Okay, if you, in the examination you have to write this much only. Right? Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So then battery capacity. I have seen that Duracell advertisement. The battery falls.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's a kind of this one. Okay, what is the battery capacity? It is a measure of the charge that could be obtained from a battery during its discharge. Charge in ampere hour. Okay, in mobile phones, okay, if you see, they might have written mAh, 700 mAh, 850 mAh. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Right, you're seen that, right? So usually I use two different cell phones. This is a small one. This usually I use it for just for calling. Okay, I have one more. This I use it for, right, to check my email or WhatsApp and all those things. So I use two. But this cell phone, this mobile, I have to recharge every day. This I do it once in a week. But it has the capacity 750 mAh. And this has the capacity of 5000 mAh. 5000 mAh. But still I have to do it every day. The reason is it has got many applications which consume that current. Okay, the current, what is this? The battery capacity is the measure of charge that could be obtained from a battery during its discharge. Okay, for example, a battery has got right capacity 800 mAh, milliampere hour, and I draw constant current of 100 amps, milliamp, constantly, fixed current I am drawing. How many hours it works?
8 hours.
8 hours. Okay, 8 hours. Okay, so this is how. Okay, the same, I have 5000 mAh battery, but I am drawing a current of 1000 milliamp, fixed current. Capacity is 500 mAh, 5000 mAh, and I am drawing current of fixed current of 1000
1000 mAh.
mAh. So how long I can use?
5
5. That's what I'm telling. This I'm using like 1000 mAh or 2000 mAh, so I can use it for 5 to 6 hours or 10 hours at the max. This I'm using like 20 or 50 milliamps constantly, so I can use it for a week. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. So capacity is expressed in terms of ampere hour. Okay. In cell phones it is milliampere hour there, right? Okay. Capacity is determined by the mass of active material contained in the battery by this Faraday's relation. There is a Faraday's relation. What is this? Faraday's relation tells W is mass of active material. Okay. And N is number of electrons involved. F is Faraday's constant 96,500 coulomb, and molecular weight of the active material. Okay, active material weight, actual weight divided by the molecular weight of the active material. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Weight may be 1 gram, but its molecular weight may be 50 or right, 3 or 8 or 6 or whatever it is. Okay, so that you have to divide. So that into NF gives you the capacity. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So capacity of the battery also depends on the discharge conditions. As I told, it is determined by finding for a fixed current discharge. I discussed already the time taken for the battery to reach the minimum voltage. That is called E cell minimum. Okay. So this flat portion, indicates the capacity. Okay, for this battery it is this much. Okay. Minimum voltage is the voltage beyond which the battery is said to be dead, or it will not give the specified output. Okay, the voltage. Okay, so we call it as, for example, you take a torch. You can measure the battery capacity. You can take a torch. You take different cells, batteries. Okay, and put the batteries in the torch and switch on the torch. Okay, just monitor the intensity of that light, that lamp. Okay, what happens? The light glows very nicely initially, and after some time it becomes dim and finally goes off. That flat portion, okay, with constant intensity, whatever you are measuring, okay, you can measure the intensity using your cell phone, right? You have some app, you can measure the intensity of light, right? So intensity decreases at particular point. Okay, you note down that and you calculate the, you know how much current it draws. Okay, you know the initial voltage, okay, and final voltage, you know. So from that, you can calculate the capacity of that cell or battery. Is that clear to you? What do? You just take the torch, use different cells, batteries. Okay, one battery, how long it, right? It takes to, it becomes, till it becomes dim. Time duration, you note it down. Okay, take another cell. Okay, switch it on. Okay, you keep it like 5 to 6 hours or 7 hours till it becomes dim. Note down the time. Okay, till you get a similar intensity. Okay, so right from that you can get the capacities of different batteries. You can do this experiment. You can take this experiment as a small project. You can do it. Okay. So you can calculate the battery's capacity. Okay, you can verify also. If somebody claims that it has got this capacity, you can verify it. Okay, so typical battery capacities. Okay, so 3000 mAh for lithium AKS2. Alkaline batteries have got 1700 to 3000 mAh. Rechargeable nickel metal hydride has got 1300 to 2900. Okay, zinc chloride batteries, zinc carbon. Okay, so various batteries have got. Okay, but most of the time we use lithium ion batteries. Okay. So energy density. Next characteristic is energy density. Energy density of the battery is the capacity of the battery to its weight or volume, and is expressed in terms of watt hour per kg or watt hour per liter or dm cube. Dm cube and liter mean the same. Okay, so we can get either gravimetric energy density or volumetric. Gravimetric means per kg, volumetric means per liter. Okay, watt hour per liter we call it as volumetric, watt hour per kg is called gravimetric energy density. Okay, what is energy density? Energy that can be, okay, that can be obtained from a per unit battery weight. Okay, for example, you have lithium ion battery and you have got lead acid battery. Okay, lead acid battery gives, I'll just tell you one voltage. Okay, it gives 3.7 volt, it gives 2 volt. Right. So what is the energy density? You can calculate. Okay, which has got higher energy density?
Lithium.
Lithium ion batteries, because per maybe lithium batteries maybe per 2 gram or 3 gram it is. Okay, 2 gram. Okay, this is per 2 to 5 kg. Okay, 2 to 5 kg. Okay, weight is there. No, let us say acid you pour in car batteries. Okay, they are heavy, but they give only 2 volt. Okay, you connect them in series to get 12 volt, right? 6 let us say batteries together to get 12 volt for car batteries and all. Okay, so higher voltages. Lithium ion battery with one cell, it gives 3.7 volt. And what is the weight of that lithium ion battery? Very light. Inside lithium ion battery is there. Very light. Even cell phone doesn't weigh that much. Okay, it weighs 100 gram or 150 gram. Okay, so battery is like still lighter, maybe 10 gram, 5 gram, but it is giving 3.7 volt. Right? Energy is giving, it is giving more. So energy density of lithium ion battery is higher compared to lead acid battery or any other batteries. Highest density, energy density, you get it with lithium. Why? What is the atomic number of lithium?
3.
3. Lightest metal. It doesn't have weight, right? But it gives highest voltage. Its E naught value is minus 3.04 volt. So you connect it to anything, you get 3 volt almost, right? So lithium ion batteries, okay, have got smaller size. right? Lead acid batteries have got bigger size, so energy density is lower for lead acid battery and it is higher for lithium ion batteries. Nickel metal hydride and nickel cadmium have got intermediate energy densities. Okay, batteries with, yes, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, battery with higher energy density will be lighter than a similar capacity battery with lower energy density. So one more thing you look for when you go to the market is cycle life. How many times you can do charging and discharging. If somebody says, okay, you can recharge this cell, right, 1,000 times, means its cycle life is 1,000. After that, failure of battery occurs. Okay, number of discharge cycles that are possible before the failure of battery occurs. Failure, what we say, is usually less than the 60% of the actual performance. If the battery delivers 1 volt, if it starts delivering 0.6 volt, means its battery is dead. It's of no use. Whatever you are getting red mark here, it is not actually zero. It is 60% or 50% of the battery still there. Okay, in your cell phone it gives that sticks are there, no? You can see here it shows 70%, 74% is remaining or something, right? Actually it is not 74%, it is after 74% it becomes right, but it is actually 50% of the battery is discharged. Okay, we don't discharge 100%, remember this. Okay,
Yes.
yes. Okay, cycle life of a rechargeable battery, it is for rechargeable batteries, okay, is the number of charge discharge cycles, okay, that the battery can provide, before it fails to meet the performance specifications. Okay, specified performance. So what are the specified performance? Okay, it delivers 0.1 ampere current and right 1 voltage. It doesn't give 1 ampere current anymore, it doesn't give 1 voltage anymore, then it is right, battery is failed. Okay, so what are the, right, before people may say 10,000 right cycle life, okay, 10,000 cycle life, but it may, because of overcharging, because of over discharging, short circuiting, extreme temperatures, exposing it to extreme temperatures, subjecting it to physical shock. Okay, sometimes we throw the cell phones, okay, vibrations and corrosion of the battery terminals, it may not give 10,000 cycles, it may give 8,000 or 9,000 to 9,000 because of other things that are happening. Okay, in ideal conditions it gives 10,000, but there are other things that are happening. Okay, if there is short circuit or happens, okay, it may die. Okay, right, premature death of the battery. Okay, this is about cycle life. It is the number of charge discharge cycles. Basically remember, number of charge discharge cycles that are possible before the failure of battery occurs. Okay, this we call it as cycle life. Then we come to energy efficiency. What is the energy efficiency? What is the efficiency of that student? He's very efficient, we say. What do you mean by that?
He scores good marks.
Whatever taught to him, he reproduces. Okay, he delivers back. Okay, so if, right, out of 100%, he may get 99%. That's the best performing student. His efficiency is good. Okay, or a runner. Okay, so whoever runs, okay, so whatever we do work, okay, we have some efficiency. Okay, so some people are less efficient, they have got less efficiency. Say they eat more but they don't do work. Okay, they are less efficient. Okay, they consume 100 calories, but they perform only 60 calories of work. 40 calories wasted. Okay, is that clear to you? So nobody is 100% efficient, I can tell you. Why? Because some percentage is required for our survival. Okay, right? Then we can do the work, right? So batteries also like that. Okay, when you recharge them, okay, when you charge them, you cannot expect all the charge you have given should give it back. Okay, some portion, some energy is lost for, right, internal resistance and all those things are there. So, right, so it will be not 100%, maybe 99% maybe. Okay, energy efficiency of a battery may be 99%. Okay, right, what is energy efficiency? The battery efficiency, energy efficiency is the ratio of the energy retrieved from a battery to the total energy provided to the battery. Okay, I'll stop here. I think I have taken more time. Okay, other things I'll take it up in the next class. Okay, because maybe you may be having another class right now. Okay, should not disturb that. Please give your attendance. Please give your attendance and we'll stop.